This video will show you how to check your MVDSL email settings on an Apple device. In this case, we'll be using an iPad, but any other Apple device should be similar. The first thing we're going to do is go to Settings on the iPad. I'm going to click that. And now we would scroll to Mail, Contacts, and Calendars, which is already selected. And so we're going to select that. And now we're going to see the list of accounts here, and John Smith is the account we're going to be playing with. So we're going to go ahead and select John Smith. And if you notice up on the top of the account, it says IMAP. That's the type of email account this is. It can either be IMAP or POP3. That's kind of important. We'll need to know that information later on. So please note if yours is IMAP or POP3. So now we're going to select the account John Smith. And this shows you all kinds of information about the account. Once again, we see that it's an IMAP account up there on the top. We see the name, we see the email address, and the description. The things that are important here are the incoming mail server host name, and that should be mail.mvdsl.com right there. And the next, we're going to see the username, and we need to make sure that the @mvdsl.com is at the end of that. And lastly, we're going to look at the outgoing mail server, and that too should be mail.mvdsl.com. While we're at the outgoing mail server, we're going to check it. And so we're going to look at the primary mail server. We see that it's on outgoing mail server, so we're going to click this to look at more settings. Once again, the host name should be mail.mvdsl.com. The username should be your full email address, and we recommend the password will be the password that you use to log in to check your email. We're going to use SSL. What SSL does is it encrypts the email as it goes across the internet. We recommend that you do that. Authentication is going to be password right here. You have some different choices, but your choice is going to be password. And lastly, the server port. You can type in anything the server port should be 587, or port 25 would work, but 587 is the recommended port. So we're going to go ahead and say we're done here, and we're going to go back to the account, and now we're going to look at the incoming mail server. So what we're going to do here is we're going to select the advanced, and we're going to scroll up. And once again, this is very similar to the outgoing mail server, but we're going to want to use SSL. The authentication needs to be password, and the server port's going to be 993. If we use SSL, if we turn SSL off, it's going to be 143. Now, the other thing we need to pay attention to is this is only for IMAP settings. If you have a POP3 account and you're using SSL, that server port will be 995. I don't have an example to show you, but that's what it would be. It would be 995. If you turned SSL off, it would be 110. So that's what you need to pay attention to if you have a POP3 account. So now we're going to go back here, we're going to exit, and we're going to test it out to make sure things work. So now we're going to go to our email, and we're already in the John Smith account. So what we're going to do is we're going to send an email to ourselves. So we're going to compose at MVDSL, subject's just going to be test. We're going to hit click send. Now if we go back to the inbox, there's the test message we just sent. So now we know we can send and receive because there's that test message we sent. Thank you for your time. Goodbye.